ìkànnì karùn-ún ọjọ́ ajé sí ọjọ́bọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti aago 6 sí 7 alẹ́. Battleground àfihàn rẹ̀ lọ lọ́wọ́ lórí Africa Magic Yorùbá.
Smartphone Network.
Babe, Grain Smart. Is it a flavor?
No, it's a special mix of vitamins and iron in Golden Morn.
But I thought Golden Morn was made from maize and soya.
Yes, Niger maize and soya protein fortified with Grain Smart, which means the right energy to think and do great things.
Oh!
Treat your family to the great taste and energy of Golden Morn. Eat off and carry go, because nothing do you. Golden Morn, make every day amazing.
When malaria won't show power for your side, it gon' knock you down. I'm a damn salt gel. Me I can tell you no say, malaria medicine we no get bad taste, or bitter taste for mouth, and it easy to swallow. Try, I got red game changer. I'm a damn salt gel. On your mind get set, go. Don't stand to come out. Malaria for your body. Sharply need that. Use some time gel. Bounce back easily. Make you day in charge of your game with Amatem soft gel.
Amatem soft gel. Now to treat malaria. If body not well after 3 days, see a doctor.
Put on your dancing shoes. It's time to groove as Africa Magic presents Owambe Saturday with Indomie, hosted by Your. Party with your favorite live band and enjoy authentic African live music performances with Playwright Band, Rockers Band, The Eagle Band, The Kankoks Band, and Moment Band. Every Saturday night from 8:30 p.m. on Africa Magic Urban and Family on DSTV and GoTV Channel 2. It's live band music experience you will love.
Owambe Saturday is proudly sponsored by Indomie. Tasty nutrition, good for you.
Good evening. Thank you for being there, and welcome back to Splash Rendezvous right here on Splash 105.5 FM, your integrity station. We're live on Facebook. Just get to our fan page, Splash FM 105.5 here in Ibadan. Splash Rendezvous is live, and so you can watch us live on the Facebook channel. Right now, I have Mr. Sheye Oyeleye on the line. He is the DG Don Commission, and he's going to be talking to us about this issue we raised when we started the program earlier. Mr. Oyeleye, welcome to the program.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Very well, and how are you too?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you for asking. May I ask why you had to pull up that meeting that comprises the commissioners of education, the advisors on education, the universal basic education chairman from the Southwest, pull them together? What was the purpose of that meeting?
Thank you. As you know, as you said when it's Tunde, we are Dawn Commission. Dawn stands for Development Agenda for Western Nigeria. And now it is the body set up by the 6 Southwest states to put it in a nutshell, midwife development in the region. And part of our pillars, because we have 5 pillars, part of our pillars is the education. And so rushing down to why this particular meeting was held, we all know what has been happening since the corona thing came into Nigeria. And we realized that if nothing is done, we might have a major crisis in our educational sector. What do I mean by a major crisis? Our children, they've been at home now since March, particularly across the country. And particularly for those who are going to sit external exams, the exam body started saying they're about to start the examination, and our pupils are still at home. So we felt, you know what, let us come together, let's reason together as a group, let's have the single way forward for the 6 states. I mean, we always say this all the time. For the 6 states, we are the same. We have the same culture. Our afflictions, our challenges are all the same. So the idea behind Dawn Commission convening the meeting was for us to look at the way forward on how we can get our pupils to sit for the external exams. And that was the basic reason for calling that meeting on Tuesday. And as you rightly said, all the commissioners were involved, the superb chairman, and all the critical stakeholders in the educational sector, all there.
Now, I saw from the newspapers that we've read today that you made decision on saying that the states are ready for their children to write the external examination. What were the risk assessments that were taken to be sure that this time is good enough for these students to resume at schools at these states? Particularly Lagos is part of it, and Lagos is an epicenter. Oyo State, the figures are equally rising in Oyo State. So are there differences in the risk assessment, and what was the consensus about the risks?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, again, when I was talking to a different media house this morning, I emphasized that the government of the 6 states are responsible governments. And in taking that decision of allowing SS3 to come back to school, a lot of things were taken into consideration. Number one, don't forget that there was a template. Oyo State was already open. By tomorrow, Oyo State would have been open for 2 weeks. By tomorrow, started their own with SS3. Now, a lot of things were taken into consideration. Do we lose a whole year? Do we say, oh, well, because of the pandemic, the children should stay at home permanently? We looked at everything and said, we need to put measures in place. Coronavirus is going to be here for a while. We now need to learn to live with this virus and walk around the virus. So what we did at the meeting is we looked at the Oyo template. We also looked at each state debriefed us on the steps they are taking in getting ready to open the schools. So before that, all the states are already preparing anyway. They had different dates in their mind on when to open the school. So what happened was we looked at all the measures they put in place towards opening the school. We also then studied the Oyo model. What have we done in the last 1.5 weeks? How has it happened? And then also adopted those that we felt can easily be shared among the other states. One of the things we do at Dawn is what we call experience sharing, lesson sharing. And we looked at the Oyo model and said, okay, if you are doing this as well and it is working once you open the school, other states will adopt. So a lot of measures. I mean, some of it was what we put in the resolution. We talked of class wardens, we talked of incident managers, stuff like that. All the schools are going to be, in some states, they are providing face masks, hand wash, buckets, all this stuff, providing it for the pupils. Some of the states insisted that when these pupils come back, physical distancing. The reason we emphasize just one class which is SS3, they will have the whole school to use, which means that the numbers in the class will be very minimal. You see, one thing I need us to understand is it's a risk itself. Yes, we understand. I mean, you mentioned that Lagos is the epicenter. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, they looked at the risk. They looked at measures they've already put in place. Let us, implement the measures and open these schools. Unfortunately now, yes, I shouldn't use the word unfortunately. The federal government has advised that they don't think WAEC should take place. That's a different thing entirely. The states in the Southwest are saying, we are ready for WAEC.
In fact, that's where I want to, sorry for butting in, that's where I want to actually come in here. We have two things that these states will need to look at. First is the federal government has said that they are not ready for schools to reopen. And the external examination, even in that in your release to the journalists, you said that the state should approach the external examiners to look at how they can postpone the test, the duration of the test, by 3 weeks. How is that feasible? Will they be able to get the go-ahead from that? Second thing is that are we not up against the federal government and the northern state that had come together to say they are not ready to go back to school?
You see, let me start from the second question. Nigeria is a federal structure. Federal. You understand my point? And it has 36 states. Now, 16 of the states in the north, they said, we are not ready for the exam. The Southwest states came together and said, we are ready for the exam. This morning, some of the South states said they are also ready for the exams.